So this video is for Integrated 1, RFF Classwork 2 from Friday. So on this first one, we're going to sketch the graph of y equal negative 2x plus 4. So the first thing is to remember that the equation of a line is y equal mx plus b, where your m is your slope and your b is your y-intercept. So for this problem, let me first draw my grid. Okay. So this 4 here is going to be my y-intercept. So that's going to go right here. Okay, so let me get, so that's going to go right here. And then I'm going to be going, because of my slope is a negative 2. Let's make that a little better. A negative 2. So our m is negative 2. And that's really negative 2 over 1. So what that means is we're going to go down 2, right 1. Okay, I'm going to go down 2, right 1. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, right 1, down. Let me make that a little thicker. Okay, so down 1, 2, right 1, 1, 2, right 1, 1, 2, right 1, and so on. And I'm going to connect it. And there's my line. And since it's a negative slope, it should be a decreasing line, and it is. Okay, on number 25, we want to determine 100, f of 100, given f of x is equal to 4x minus 10. So to figure out f of 100, f of 100, I am going to be putting in 100 in place of my x. Okay, it goes right here in place of my x. So 4 times 100 minus 10, I end up with 400 minus 10, which is 390. That's what f of 100 is. Okay, on 26, I have $700 in my bank account, but spend $50 each week for gas. Write an equation to represent how much money I have in my account after X weeks. Okay, so for this, I'm starting with $700 in my bank. I am spending $50 each week, and our X is going to represent weeks. Okay, so my equation is going to be y equal, I'm starting with 700. I am minusing 50 every week. That's our equation. Okay, so again, this is our start, $700. We're taking 50 off over and over and over X times. On 27, we want to find the slope of this. It's really easy to come here and go, oh, it's probably this -3 because it's in front of the x, but you never do that when it's not in y equal form. So we need to get it into y equal mx plus b. That is when we will have our slope in front of our x, okay? So I am going to be taking the equation. I'm going to be taking negative 3x plus 2y equal 12. And I'm going to try to get my y by itself. Okay, so my goal is to get this 2y by itself to start with. So I am going to add 3x here. I'm going to add 3x here. And I'm going to get 2y is equal to, and I'm going to write it as 3x plus 12. Or you can write it as 12 plus 3x. I just thought I'd put my x first. Then we're going to try to get the y by itself. That's our next goal. Just the y. So I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. And I would recommend dividing everything by 2 separately so you can see your slope and your y-intercept. So I get y is equal to 3 halves x plus 6. And my slope is this 3 halves, okay? So my slope is going to be this 3 halves, okay? So slope equals 3 halves. That's my answer. Again, be careful. It's not the number in front of the x unless it's in y equal form. Okay, on number 29, we're going to multiply this. So you can distribute. I think I'm going to draw a 1 by 2 box for this. But again, it is really just distribution. So I'm going to take 2y, multiplying with the 4x plus 5y. And when I do that, on the first box, I'm going to get 8. X times x is x squared, and then a y. My second box, I'm taking 2 times 5, which is 10, x, and then y times y, y squared. And then you write your answer out. 8x squared, y, plus 10xy squared. That's your answer. On 30, okay, we want to find our x-intercept. Your x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, so that's going to be over here. So that is going to be, let me get a bigger. So that is going to be right here, okay, at -4. And then my y, I'll do in pink. My y is going to be right here. It looks like at -2. Okay, so again, my x, okay, is going to be -4, 0. My y is going to be 0, -2. And then they want an equation. So my equation is going to be y equal, and I need to find my slope. And to find my slope, what I'm going to do is I am going to come down 1, 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, this is 2. Whoops, let me get out of yellow. This is 2, and I actually went down 2 if you want to put the negative there, and this is 4. So my slope is going to be -2 over 4, or -1/2. So over here, I'm going to write y equal -1/2 x, and then my y-intercept is my b, so I'm going to put that right here, so -2, and that's my equation. On 81, I'm solving for n, so I'm going to distribute this 2. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to get a 2n minus 6 plus 4 is equal to 3n plus 1. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to get everything on the same side that's like terms combined. So this is going to be 2n, and my -6 and my 4, those I can combine, and I'm going to get a -2 is equal to 3n plus 1. I am going to -2n from both sides. And when I do, let me get my answer up here. I'm going to get a -2 equals n plus 1 I'm going to minus 1 from both sides, and I get -3 is equal to n. And that's your answer. Okay, so again, I ran out of room here, so I had -2. Here, this became a n, and then my +1. Domain and range. Domain, to make it look like a D. Domain are all possible x values for a graph and the range is all possible y values for a graph. And when I think about domain and range, I want to be thinking for domain, how far to the right and left does it go? So what I mean by that is we're going this direction and this direction. And then for our range, what's the high and low? And then you look to see if you have any gaps or missing values. Okay, we only want the ones that are on your graph. Okay, so for this one, I am going to do an area model, 2 by 2, because I have 1, 2 terms here, 1, 2 terms here, so that's why 2 by 2. Doesn't matter which one you put where. Let's say I do my 2x, and I like to stick my negative right in front of my number so I don't lose it, not in between. If you put it here, sometimes you lose it. So I like to put it right in front. And then 5x, and then again, I'm gonna put the +6, and then I'm gonna multiply this out. So I'm gonna get a 10x squared, 12x, -15x, and a -18. Now I'm gonna combine like terms. So I get 10x squared, and then here I have a 12x and a -15x. So that is going to give me a -3x minus 18. And that's going to be our answer. On 34, you want to be careful with these problems. This is not like the f of 100 we did earlier. I knew before my x it was 100. Now this time I know my y. So remember that these equations, f of x is equal to y. So this is our y. I know my y is 4. So I'm going to go to 4 on my y. Okay, this is 4 on my y, and I'm going to go across. Pretend I could draw straight. And I want to see where it crosses. And you see it crosses right here. And that is at 5. Okay, so this point right here is at 5, 4. So when they say what f of what gives you 4, f of x equal 4, what's x? X is 5, because 5.5, 4, okay, that's where I had 4 for my y. Okay, so this is a big race problem, okay? And so we've got Eric, we've got Luis, and we've got Valerie. And I'm gonna color code. So let's say that I do this color for Eric, this color for Luis, and this color for Valerie. And I want to label my x-axis and y-axis. So my x-axis is going to be seconds, and my y-axis is going to be meters. Okay, and I am going to kind of, I'm not going to go through a number of these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to put a line where 5 is, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will help me count better. Same here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 5, this is 10, this is 5, this is 10. 10. And so I am going to read the first one. So it says, Eric got a 1 meter head start and rode his tricycle 3 meters every 2 seconds. And this is important. The race was, here, let me highlight this. The race was 12 meters long. So that's going to tell me where my end line is, my finish line. So I'm going to draw that in. Here, I'm going to draw it in blue. Kind of faint. Okay, so that's at 12. So I'm going to be going across here. This is 12. Okay, let me write the 12 here. Okay, so that is 12, where I'm at. Okay, so then I'm going to be using red for Eric. Eric got a 1 meter head start and rode his tricycle 3 meters every 2 seconds. So he got a 1 meter head start. Okay, he got a 1 meter head start, so he's going to start here, 1 meter. And he went 1, 2, 3 meters every 1, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3 meters every 1, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3 meters every 1, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3 meters every 2 seconds. I would do it until I get beyond that line. Okay, now I'm going to draw it in. Hold on a second, I'm struggling here. Make this thinner. Okay, so, and I'm going to put E for Eric, so I remember that that's Eric. Okay, so now my next one, they gave me an equation. So Luis rode his tricycle according to the following equation. Y equal 1/2 x plus 3. So this means 3, let me get it out of the light color. And he's blue, so let me get blue. 3 meter head start. And the 1/2 is 1 meter every 2 seconds. That's what that means. So let me get a thicker one here. Okay, so he's going to be starting at 3 meters. 1, 2, 3 meters. And he's going to be going 1 meter every 2 seconds, 1 every 2. So these actually ran into each other. 1 every 2, 1 every 2, 1 every 2, 1 every 2. And then I'm going to connect it. And I'll put L for Luis. Now Valerie. Valerie is 5 meters into the race after 1 second. So that is actually a point. So 5 meters after 1 second. Now remember, my X is seconds. So I'm going to actually go 1 comma 5. And then she is 6 meters into the race after 2 seconds. So that's going to be 2 comma 6. So I've got those 2 points I'm going to plot. So 1 comma 5, 1 comma 5, 2 comma 6, 2 comma 6. So here what I'm doing is going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. They met here. Up 1 over 1, and so on. And then I'm going to connect those. Okay. So, and if I'm going backwards, it would have crossed here, right there at 4. So I'm going to draw this line. Again, this is Valerie. So then it asks, who wins the race and how do you know? Let's see, I think I'm going to type this in. Who won the race? Let me just get some color here. So when you're looking at who won the race, you're looking at who got there the fastest. So 1 second, 2 seconds, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In between 7 and 8, Eric is the one who was the winner. Then Valerie, then poor Luis. Okay, so Eric won the race. He finished it in the least amount of seconds. When does Eric catch Luis? Okay, here's Eric. Okay, so here's Eric, and when does Eric catch Luis? Right here at this point. Okay, and this point, let me write it. Okay, so this point is at, let me get a little darker, sorry. 2 comma 4, but they want when, okay, when. So that means they actually want us to give the time, okay? So Eric caught up to Luis at 2 seconds. After 1 second, who is in first, second, and third? So this is the key here. Hold on, let me get my pen again. So the key is after 1 second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's say I use green. And I am going to draw in a line at 1 second. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to draw a line at 1 second. Now I'm starting from the finish line because whoever's closest to the finish line is in first place, right? So as I'm coming down, first I come to the purple, which is Valerie. Then I come to Luis, so he's second. Then I come to Eric, which is he's third. So again, it's going to be Valerie, then Luis, then Eric. So Valerie is first, Luis is second, and Eric is third. When does Valerie finish the race? Okay, so Valerie's my purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is when she finishes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So Valerie finishes the race in 7 seconds. And that's the end of the video for classwork number 2 for the RRF reviews.